Hello guys, welcome to KSFDC. So today in this video we'll talk about process builder. These are the topics which we are going to cover in this video. So first we'll check what is process builder. Then with one example I'll show you how process builder works. We'll consider one particular use case and we'll create a process builder in this video. And in the end we'll discuss about some of the complex scenarios and different limits and the documentations of the process builder. So let's begin. So I have launched the setup now and I am searching for the process builder. So basically process builder is an automation tool in Salesforce which is used by Salesforce administrator. Now you have to click on new. Now first we will enter the process name and the API name. So API name will be the unique name. I'm just giving the name as my sample process 1. Then you have a field for description and then it asks us about when the process should start. So I'll just select when a record is getting changed. It's saved. So for this video we will consider the use case where we need to trigger an email to account owner as soon as someone updates the account status as suspended. So for this particular example we'll consider the object as account. So as soon as I select the account object, it shows me one warning that you already have one active process builder over account. This is a very important point to note. You can have multiple process builders over same account or same object basically, but then the execution sequence is not confirmed. So if you have two process builders on account, let's say A and B, and for one particular org, A is getting executed first and then B is after A, but when you migrate this process builder, then the sequence may alter and it may happen that B is getting executed first and then the A. So that's why the best practice is you should have only one process builder over the account or any object, and you can just combine everything within one process builder. So basically we have two options: only when a record is created or when a record is created or edited. And then there is one option in advance for recursion. The particular process builder can get execute for 6 times. It can check for the condition 6 times and then it will stop if you select this recursion flag, but you should be very careful if you wanna switch on it. Okay, now I am saving this. I'll put a condition for create or update. Now I am creating the criteria. So I have given a name as sample criteria and here I am selecting one field. So status is a custom field I have created over account. I'm choosing it. So what I want to do is, my use case is, let's say whenever the status is getting updated to a particular value, then I would like to trigger an email. There is an option called advance. So if you go there is a boolean. What it is saying is, do you want to execute the actions only when specified changes are made to the record? So I want to send the email only when the particular status is updated as suspended. So that's why I'm checking this flag and I'll save this. Okay, so now here we are in immediate action, and what I want to do is I would like to send an email alert. You can select anything from these actions. Now I'm giving the action name, my email action 1, and now I have to select from one of the email alerts that I have in the system. So I have one email alert on account, but I'll create a new one for this particular example. So we can just go to setup and search for email alert in quick find, and I have recently opened one particular email alert. Since it is here in most recently viewed, I'm opening directly. So this was the email alert I have created. I'll just click on edit. We'll see what different fields email alert has. So basically everything else is fine, it's just that we need to have one email template. So the first step will be to create an email template. I'll create an email template in Classic. So I already have one email template. I'm just opening it and will clone it. Okay, so here we are. Now we'll just update a few things here. Okay, so the one flag which you can see available for use, until you select it, it won't be available in the email alerts. So you can just enable it. Again, I'll click on edit, and I want to edit the body of this particular email and the subject. So I will update the subject as account updated as suspended, and in the email body also I will update the same thing. Okay, now I will just save this. So here in the email alert, I will just open the older email alert and I am cloning this. Okay, I'll give some name and description. Okay, now what I need to do is I will just select the particular email template which we have recently created. Yes, this is the one. Okay, now in the recipient, account owner is selected already, so we are good. Here you can provide some additional emails to be notified, so I have given my email ID and I am just saving this. So nice, we have created our first Classic email template as well as first email alert, and now I am just referring this here in the process builder. So I'm searching for that email alert. Yes, I can see it. Okay, great, I have saved this. Now I'll just activate this process builder. So what it says is you can have only one active process builder version for any process builder. So this is our first version and I'm activating it. Now what I'll do is I'll just create one new account. I'll provide the name as test account 1. I'll put the status as suspended. Now I'm saving it. Okay, so if I check my inbox, I have received the email. So now we'll just look at the documentation for process builder. I'll put this link in the description. Now process builder supports generally 3 types of automation needs. So first one is whenever a record is created or updated, you can invoke it. Then whenever a platform event message is received, you can initiate a process. And third one is an invocable process starts when something else like another process invokes it. We can see the difference between the process builder and workflow. So it has mentioned that what different things you can do with the process builder, out of which we sent out an email. This is a particular knowledge article which states that process builder is bulkified. So a lot of people have the doubt that process builder is bulkified or not, should we use it or not. So this particular article states that process builder is bulkified. After that, this is the limit documentation. So you can see how many number of sockles or the DML statements are issued in one particular transaction. Okay, so that's it for the video. Thanks for watching this. Please let me know your feedback or anything else you wanna know or understand in Salesforce. Let me know it through the comment section below. And do subscribe to our channel for more such Salesforce videos.